केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 3 days ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked Indians to conserve fuel, save foreign exchange and prepare for a deepening global energy shock. The opposition mocked it as optics, as another headline management exercise, they called it. Today, the government went full throttle on practicing what they preached. The Prime Minister himself is leading the cutbacks, with the Prime Minister's office ordering a 50% reduction in convoy size and greater use of electric vehicles. Union Home Minister followed suit. Mr. Amit Shah too has slashed his convoy, keeping only essential security vehicles deployed in his cavalcade. From Uttar Pradesh to Madhya Pradesh, from Delhi to Rajasthan, BJP governments are now scrambling to signal fuel discipline. Carpooling, shrinking motorcades, cutting official travel. BJP leaders who once travelled in massive convoys are suddenly being photographed in buses, metros and e-rickshaws. The Maharashtra government has tightened rules on official flights, while Gujarat Deputy CM Harsh Sanghvi cancelled his planned US trip after the Prime Minister's appeal against unnecessary foreign travel.
तो मैं भी डीजीपी को बता दिया, डायरेक्टर सिक्योरिटी को बता देने के लिए जो मिनिमम चाहिए वो रख के बाकी आतिला में ज्यादा गाड़ी रखें।
मैं खुद ही इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल में से आया हूँ। मेरे कॉन्वॉय में से जितनी भी गाड़ियाँ जो सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से जो जरूरी है उतनी रखकर जितना कम कर सकते हैं उतना करना चाहिए।
We have decided not to purchase any new vehicle for next 6 months. We have decided that we will reduce fuel expenditure by 20% in compared to last financial year. Even the private foreign travels of government officers and employees has been prohibited for next 6 months.
Convoys that once moved with 12 to 15 vehicles are now visibly slimmer. In effect, the government is trying to blunt the opposition's most potent attack. That sacrifice is always demanded from the public, never from the politicians. But the opposition is not easing off the accelerator. They call this cut down just carefully choreographed optics. A made-for-social media campaign designed for reels, not reform.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, मुख्यमंत्री, मंत्रीगण अपनी फ्लीट में कटौती कर रहे हैं। वहीं दूसरी ओर उनके विधायक हजारों गाड़ियों को लेकर जुलूस निकल रहे हैं। दिखावे के लिए मंत्री लोग मेट्रो में फोटो खिंचवा रहे हैं।
तो ये सारी की सारी अपनी गाड़ियां जो है आज जो है वापस सरकार को सरेंडर कर दें और सरेंडर करके जो रसीद मिलेगी उसको ये जो है सोशल मीडिया पे डाल दें। तो मैं मान लूंगा कि अब ये सरकारी गाड़ी इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे। वरना देखिए एक दिन आप मीडिया को बुला के सोशल मीडिया पे रील बनाने के लिए तो मेट्रो जाना बड़ा मजा आता है। वो तो प्रधानमंत्री जी भी जाते हैं।
Despite the loud criticism coming from the Aam Aadmi Party camp, their own Chief Minister in Punjab, Bhagwant Mann, was today seen travelling with little reduction in convoy size. After all, Aam Aadmi is a party. Aam Aadmis are different.
These are the people who call themselves Aam Aadmi Party and who are pointing fingers at others. But when it comes to themselves, they opt for Sheesh Mahal, not a 2-bedroom house.
Now, it's not like everyone in the BJP is following fuel discipline. Newly sworn in Bihar Chief Minister Samrat Chaudhary appears to have missed the Prime Minister's memo and was seen moving in with a sprawling 19-car cavalcade. But the Aam Aadmi Party has slipped into such compulsive opposition mode that its convener is now making claims that are outright baseless.
किसी भी देश की सरकार ने इस किस्म के ये 7 कदम उठाने के लिए किसी भी देश की सरकार ने अपने नागरिकों को अपील नहीं की है। एक भी देश नहीं है। आज मोदी जी 140 करोड़ लोग आपसे फरियाद करते हैं, अभी तुरंत इसी वक्त रशिया से तेल खरीदना शुरू कीजिए, रशिया से गैस खरीदनी शुरू कीजिए।
Unbelievable, because India never stopped buying fuel from Russia in the first place. And because Mr. Kejriwal seems to have missed reading the newspaper, here's a list of harsh measures taken globally. From South Korea to Pakistan, governments are cutting official travel, while Australia, Egypt, Vietnam and Ethiopia are all urging citizens to conserve energy. Indonesia, Myanmar, Pakistan and the Philippines have introduced remote work and shorter work weeks, while Thailand and Jordan are cracking down on air conditioner usages in government offices. India, on the other hand, has so far made no such rules, just limiting to advisories. But to dissuade gold purchases, import duty on gold and silver has now been hiked to 15% to reduce a ballooning import bill. But this too is being questioned.
सरकारें चाहे वो कांग्रेस की बात करते हैं कि उस समय भी सोने की बात हुई, आज भी उसी बात पे हो रही है, तो कहीं ना कहीं इसके पीछे जो सबसे बड़ा कारण है वो डॉलर और रुपए का, जिस तरह से रुपया गिर रहा है, जिस तरह से डॉलर मजबूत हो रहा है, उसको लेके सरकार ये निश्चित रूप से इस तरीके के कदम उठाए। लेकिन सरकार को जो कदम पहले उठा लेने चाहिए थे, बहुत से उपाय और कर लेने चाहिए, सरकार ने नहीं किए।
Unfazed by political criticism, the government is working on mission energy security as the world stares at its biggest oil shock since the 1970s crisis. As crude prices surge nearly 61% compared to last year, Prime Minister is set to visit the UAE with the primary objective of securing India's energy needs. Sources say crucial LPG and strategic petroleum reserve agreements are on the cards. On the other hand, Iran has once again said that talks are on to facilitate the passage of remaining Indian vessels through the Straits of Hormuz. At home, the cabinet has approved a 37,500 crore coal gasification push aimed at reducing India's dependence on imported fuel.
रेवेन्यू का एस्टिमेट है करीब 6,300 करोड़ पर एनम। अपने आप में वायबल स्कीम है ये। स्कीम अपने आप में ही देश को इकोनॉमिकली बेनिफिट देने लगेगी। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने पब्लिक मंच से भी बोला है और हम सबको भी गाइड करते हैं हमेशा कि यथासंभव कम से कम खर्चे रखो, जिससे कि आज के युग में जो हमारा रिक्वायरमेंट है उस हिसाब से हम अपने जीवन शैली में परिवर्तन लाए।
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the legitimate question on the News Hour tonight. Why is the opposition refusing to see the rationale behind advice to ration fuel consumption? That is the only question on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Radhika Khera, national spokesperson of the BJP, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, senior fellow at the IPCS, Suhail Seth, marketing guru, columnist, Clyde Crasto, national spokesperson and secretary of the NCP. Also joining the debate, Faizan Kidwai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. But my first question goes to Tehseen Poonawalla, Congress supporter. And Tehseen Poonawalla, what is so difficult to understand in all of this? After all, there is a global crisis. Fuel prices have gone up because there is a reduction in fuel availability thanks to the West Asia crisis. In the middle of all this, all that the Prime Minister is saying, we don't know which way this is going to go. We are still in the 76th day of this confrontation, skirmish, war, call it what you will, because there are different definitions every day. The fact of the matter is global prices are 61% up of fuel. We need to rationalize our consumption. Why is the opposition making this so political?
Good evening, Navika. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Despite being in opposition, let me start by saying it's good that the Prime Minister symbolically reduced his convoy, and that's great, and we appreciate it. But then the security of the prime minister should be most important. And let's go by science and data, not by symbolism, because symbolism will not work. If the prime minister can do with a small convoy, does it then mean that his SPG convoy for all this long was irrelevant or irrational and was a waste? I don't think so. So this is only symbolism. I calculated approximately the total convoy, if you reduce to 2 or 3 cars, the total fuel that you're saving is some 80,000 liters per month, which frankly means nothing scientifically. So let's come to the issues at hand. Number one, increasing the customs on gold. Again, this will lead to gold smuggling. This government is responsible for rupee being the worst performing currency. 2024 February, I was on Times Now. I told you the rupee is depreciating faster, and the reason is being the kind of irrelevant and illogical policies and tax terrorism this government is indulged in. Now let's come to the second issue at hand. The second issue at hand is today the position that we are in is due to the West Asia crisis. But in the last 10 years, China has added 100 billion barrels of strategic reserve for itself. You know how much does India have? 21 million. In 10 years, China built the infrastructure. The last infrastructure we built was built by Manmohan Singh. The Prime Minister's second phase and third phase has not even taken off. Forget finishing it. Who is responsible for that? Now let's come to the third thing at hand. The fact of the matter is that FPIs and FIIs have continuously pulled out because irrational policies against like long-term capital gains, short-term capital gains, putting pressure on our economy, thereby reducing the value of the rupee versus the dollar. Again, we've had the worst performing currency and the most amount of pullout in our country, therefore creating this problem of paying for our reserve. Though we have dollar reserves, the pressure on our rupee has been because of the pullouts, again because of the finance ministry. Now come to the fourth thing about it.
Well,
this month.
Tehseen Poonawalla, your MPhil dissertation will have to wait. This is a debate where I cannot give you half an hour to explain to me all economic instruments that you are. But Abhijit Iyer Mitra, for somebody who is a supporter of a party that actually made no infrastructure on the borders, when China was making that infrastructure in defense, they are telling us that infrastructure for oil has not been made, misplaced or not. They called it a sham because this is only for the social media. The Prime Minister, the Home Minister, the Vice President, all chief ministers have cut down their cavalcades. Why are they now raising the security concern? Or is this just pure habit of politicizing and criticizing just about everything?
See, Navika, this is the classic nihilistic politics of the Congress. But let me just correct my dear friend Tehseen just on some basic facts out here, which I kind of suspected he was going to raise this, so I actually compiled this. I'm just comparing 2014 to 2026. LPG import terminals, which is a whole infrastructure, from 11, they've gone up double to 22. The LPG distributors have increased from 30,000 double to 25,600. Active domestic LPG customers from 14.5 crores to 33 crores. Understand the distribution network and the consumption have increased significantly. Pipeline length has increased threefold from 2,300 kilometers to 6,000 kilometers. Crude sources have diversified from 27 to 40. But here is the real thing. The strategic petroleum reserve, we had none, zero. There was no strategic petroleum reserve in 2014. Right now, we have 5.3 million metric tons. Refining capacity has gone up from 215 million metric tons per annum to 258 million metric tons per annum. And ethanol blending has gone up from 1.5 to about 20% dependent. Now, we need to understand petrol has 70,000, crude oil has 70,000 derivatives. Your plastics, your polyester, fertilizers, all of them come from crude oil. An increase. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, 60% of it comes from the Gulf. Now, when that is blockaded, you are not going to get a lot of things, including fertilizers, plastics, fabrics even. Number 3, we need to understand what is happening out here. Us keeping the prices artificially low like this means that sellers are not selling to us. They are selling to other people. So there is no point of diversification. If we keep the prices low, they are going to come our way. No, when nobody sells it to you, then what do? Russia is making a huge profit, but they won't sell it to us at those prices. We have to increase them now. Fourth, for everybody who says, जब $70 पे था, you were profiting off of it. Bhai, you mean to say families don't save? And suddenly when the going gets tough, you blow up all your savings.
That's exactly what the country did. So Clyde Crasto, why is this situation, 1 minute, why is this situation being questioned? We all know we are going through a tough time, and it's not just for India, it's across the world. The way the situation has unfolded, I just want to ask you, is this criticism for the sake of criticism?
Allow me a line to respond.
Tehseen, hold on. Clyde Crasto has been.
Can I come in here now?
Yes, Clyde.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. There's a lag. Just like the policies of
Navika, can I speak?
Yes, sir, please go on.
Yeah, see, Navika, this is not criticism for the sake of criticism. There are very simple things. Everybody, including Tehseen and the other gentlemen, Mr. Abhijit and all, they've spoken about details and all. I want to talk very simple with you. There are 7 appeals that the Honorable Prime Minister has made. I want to talk to you about 4 appeals, and I won't take too much of your time. Very, very simple thing. Now, he says, prioritize work from home wherever possible. Are the people from the government where Bharatiya Janata Party is running the government or the central government going to work from home? And if they're going to work from home during COVID, I'm in Maharashtra where people were working from home. They kind of, malign them, accuse them of sitting at home and working. So is that going to work? First one. I'm only stating 4 points. The other point I'm talking about is using metro and public transport. Are all these ministers who go to the Mantralaya here or wherever they go to, the secretariat, are they going to leave their cars and go via public transport? Show me one of them going by public transport. You are saying they're cutting the convoy, they're bringing it from 20 cars to 4 cars and all. This is all symbolic. How many days? You are monitoring today, monitor tomorrow. For how many days? For 1 year, the Honorable Prime Minister is saying we got to do certain things. For a year, are they going to do? That's one more thing. Other thing that I want to say is that adopt Swadeshi. Show me one BJP leader today who's not wearing something that is not imported, has only Swadeshi on him. Prove it to me. It's not that you're talking about just for the sake of criticism. These people are doing symbolic things. Show me how many Swadeshi things they're doing.
Crasto, it is from today that you are reducing. How can you ask somebody to show that nobody is wearing anything imported? Are you now arguing on the ridiculous? Radhika Kheda, I hope you're not wearing anything imported. I hope your salwar kameez is Indian, because Clyde Crasto has a problem with your salwar kameez being imported.
How many public transport, Radhika? No, you're muzzling my voice by not allowing me to speak. How many people are using public transport? Show me today. How many people have used public transport today?
Not one politician from your party, sir, using public transport. Common men, common people are using public transport, sir.
Navika.
1 minute. I'm coming to each one of you. Radhika Kheda, I've called out Radhika Kheda. All BJP people wear imported things. Clyde Crasto is making that point. Please respond to him.
Navika ji, I belong to the Bharatiya Janata Party. The clothes I'm wearing are made by very poor women in Rajasthan who are helped by the self-help group. I do not belong to Congress party. Sir, I didn't speak over you.
Okay, Clyde Crasto says he travels by bus. Fantastic. You are following Prime Minister Modi. Kudos to you. And you're taking his advice seriously. Please advise others in the opposition to do the same. Coming to you, Sohail Seth. Radhika Kheda first.
Yeah. Navika ji, Mr. Clyde should also give the same suggestion that he's giving us for wearing Swadeshi clothes to even Mr. Rahul Gandhi, whose chappals are made to design by Gucci to show that they're made in India. Pehle jaake apne neta ko boliye. Having said that, I'm going to start with Tehseen ji, whose argument is not just economically hollow, it is morally bankrupt. When he talks about gold, and that because he says that just because gold ke taxes बढ़ गए, there is going to be, what did you say, Tehseen ji, that gold ki smuggling hogi. So basically what you're trying to say is don't have tough laws because criminals might break them. Since when did the fear of crime become the basis for national fiscal policy? The Congress is hallucinating about the 1970s because that was the era they created of the license Raj and weak borders. Today's India is different. We have AI integrated customs, digitized port tracking, and a zero tolerance policy towards black money. We don't fear smugglers, Tehseen bhai, we hunt them. Increasing gold duty is a surgical strike to manage the current account deficit and protect the rupee. Every gram of gold imported is a drain on our foreign exchange. While the Honorable Prime Minister is leading from the front with a two-car convoy to stake taxpayers' money, the Congress is busy acting as an advocate for the gold import lobby. Having said that, Navika ji, today India has a Prime Minister who doesn't preach from a pedestal, but leads by a staggering personal example. When our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji appealed for austerity, he did not wait for files to move. He moved his own convoy from a dozen plus cars to just 2. This is leadership in its purest form, unfiltered, unparalleled, and purely for the nation. And Tehseen bhai, I remember just one day back when Prime Minister made this appeal, you were the first one to make a video and go to ANI and say, why is the Prime Minister not reducing his own convoy? He should start and lead by example. Well, that is what our Prime Minister does. But while the Prime Minister is setting gold standards, look at the staggering hypocrisy of the India Alliance. Even Aam Aadmi Party for that example. You just show Navika ji what Bhagwant Mann was cruising with a 15-car cavalcade in Punjab. Let alone that, we see a daily soap opera in the form of Arvind Kejriwal. One day back, he was confused between Iraq and Iran. He does not know whose war is with USA. He said USA and Iraq are fighting. Today, he has a geopolitical meltdown asking why India is not buying Russian oil. Well, we have
clearly, whatever is done has to be criticized, and Suhail said. We're just getting information that the 14th LPG ship to cross the Hormuz will be the ship headed to India. With this, all the backlog of ships meant for India with loads of LPG will now be cleared. Probably the only country which has managed to get its supplies that were stuck over there. Not one person in the opposition will acknowledge this, but there is some petty fault finding that is currently going on the issue of how this announcement by the Prime Minister is nothing but tokenism. Where do you stand on it?
See, first I must commiserate with Tehseen. He's not the official spokesperson of the Congress. He's not a member of the Congress party. Yet, like a certain gentleman with less hair, he has to defend them every evening. And he does a great job, to be fair. Now, Clyde, I'm sorry I didn't take public transport today because I didn't step out of my house. But that is not the argument, my friend. The argument is very simple, and your leader, Sharad Pawar, is a great nationalist, and he will support this. The Prime Minister's call is to encourage citizens to conserve energy. That's about it. You like it, you like it. He's not Marie Antoinette, who's saying, eat cake if you don't have bread. No one has said that. He has never used the word austerity. The point is, do you want the nation to rally around a crisis or you don't? By asking people or telling them to show them their bus passes is a ridiculous idea. You can show me a bus pass. How do I know you even went on that bus? But I will believe you because you're an honourable man, as was said of Brutus by Marx.
But I hope your T-shirt is Indian. Suhail said, I hope your T-shirt is Indian.
Everything that's Western. No, my limited point
is,
let's not
you're
fool
questioning
around
me.
And make
you're questioning me. I will meet you. I don't know where you live,
Clyde,
but I'll come and show you the pass.
I did not interrupt you.
No,
I can interrupt you in more ways than you can imagine. Before you were born,
but sir,
I was
don't
debating.
question me.
Let's just keep quiet and let me finish.
Don't put words in my mouth, my friend.
Okay,
don't put words in my mouth.
My
If you are
point
going
here
to
very
question
simply
me and
is,
doubt that
my point very simply is,
no, so don't question me and don't think that I'm lying.
Well, Clyde Castro, I have announced that you travelled by bus. We showed the ticket. What more do you want? Allow the man to speak, sir.
Is that the
Sohail is questioning.
The argument is the
no, but Sohail is questioning me. Tell him not to question.
No, sir. He said that he believes you because you are an honourable man. If you can't understand the pun there, I really feel bad about the English language. But Sohail said, what is the point you're driving at?
No one. And equally, you are no one to audit people's sartorial elegance or the lack of. You are no policeman to say, are you wearing Indian? Are you wearing foreign? What a ridiculous argument. I mean, I'd be worried if this is the level of debate that we are coming down to. You saw the premise that Navika Kumar began with. Navika Kumar said, should the opposition unite at this time of crisis? Should the nation rally as one nation? Should citizens believe that citizenry, put your finger down, when I finish you can speak. Should citizens believe in the national cause or not? The answer is simple, yes. Who are you fighting? Who are you fighting? You are not fighting the country. You are equally nationalistic. It's even in your political party's name. It's the Nationalist Congress Party when I last checked. You're nationalists. Why are you against the idea of India rallying together?
Absolutely, and that is the moot point. And I want to get in Somnath Bharti ji, former minister in the Delhi government. Somnath Bharti ji, Clyde Crasto. There are other people, other political parties on the panel. I can't accede to your demands every minute, sir. You'll have to maintain the decorum of a debate. Somnath Bharti ji. While the Prime Minister says that we must take care of conserving foreign exchange, what's wrong with that? And as Suhail said, points out, it is nationalism that we should stand on at this point when we are not seeing an end to this war. Every day, the prices of oil are rising. There is going to be pressure. Why not just as a country come together and gear up to meet this challenge? While your party has objected to this entire issue कि पहले नहीं बोला अभी क्यों बोल रहे हैं austerity का क्या मतलब है? Look at the Chief Minister of Punjab and his cavalcade. Can we live like Aam Aadmis for once?
Oh. Navika ji, thank you for taking me on your show. See, I have a small video for you to see and for your viewers to see. Just see that.
कि आर्थिक संकट इसलिए पैदा हुआ है कि लोग सोना खरीदते हैं। बताइए, आपके गले उतरता है भाई?
अब सुनिए. So to address economic crisis, Mr. Modi does not believe that one should stop buying gold. So was he a liar then? Was he a liar? Is he a liar now? So how can you keep changing your stance so fast? So the second thing, I saw your show in the beginning. I was in the car that time. So,
Somnath, my friend, you're a lawyer of great reputation.
Sir, to speak, or will you?
You're a lawyer of great repute. But even Arvind Kejriwal, my friend, if you remember, I'm just making one interjection.
So
it's a point of order.
Allow me to speak.
It's a point of order. Because you're a formidable lawyer, I need your intellectual heft on this. Arvind Kejriwal once said he will never join politics. He joined politics. इस पे आप बस टिप्पणी कर दीजिए. बस after this I won't say a thing.
Somnath Bharti ji, he's got you there in a tight spot. Please respond.
चले वो टिप्पणी कर देंगे. No, I'm not supposed to respond to that. Anyway, see, sir, I'll tell you, Ram Madhav ji in US admitted in a public forum that we did everything to please Trump. We stopped buying oil from Russia. He admitted he's a senior intellectual from BJP. We stopped buying oil from Iran. We agreed to 50% tariff. Still, Trump is not happy. So when Arvindji said that why are you not buying oil from Russia, everybody was objecting. No, we're still buying oil from Russia. So let's not keep saying, thinking that the people are stupid. People are not stupid. People are seeing. Today, when Russia is giving you oil and LPG both, why are you denying? Under what threat? Why? I mean, with what? Trump is threatening you. Does he have something which is objectionable in his possession about Mr. Modi? What is he scared of? Number one. Number two, see, today I saw that the Honorable Prime Minister was going with 2 cars. So if 2 cars are enough to fulfill security protocol requirements of Prime Minister, what was he doing in the last 12 years?
Why don't you check that? Why don't you check that with Bhagwant Manji also?
100 cars.
आप भगवंत मान जी से भी तो check कर सकते हैं ना, sir?
I'm just Navika ji, अगर मुझे पहले बात करने देंगे तब तो मैं बात कर पाऊंगा। आपके
सर सारी बात आपने कर ली। मैं आपको विजुअल्स दिखा दूं। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी चॉपर में प्राइवेट एयरक्राफ्ट में जाते हैं, एमएलए को मिलने तो जाते हैं।
परमिट तो करें। मैं कुछ और कह रहा हूं। मैं ये कह रहा हूं, अगर 2 कार नॉर्मल प्रोटोकॉल फुलफिल करता है, लेट इट बिकम द न्यू नॉर्मल and let us save thousands and crores of rupees of the country.
Okay, all right. Radhika Kheda responding. Radhika Kheda responding to you, Radhika.
They have to
Navika ji, the Aam Aadmi Party. Sir, I'm Radhika, not you. Sir, my name is Radhika. Last I checked, I was Radhika. Let me complete. Now it's my turn. You're talking about the new normal. Those people are talking about the new normal who could not provide Prime Minister Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji security when he was in Punjab. We saw under your leadership, under your as the chief minister, what was happening. Let's not get there. And when you're talking about कि 2013 में, and you're talking about 2012 and 13 when P. Chidambaram spoke about not buying gold, and you're quoting Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, I'm forgetting Somnath Bharti ji. Tell me, what war was there going on in which part of the world? I'm sure आप बहुत प्रबुद्ध वकील हैं. You have a very good research team who's probably passing your papers sitting over there. What war was going on in 2013 when Chidambaram Sahab asked the country not to buy gold? What war was going on? What war? Which part of the world was there a war in 2013, sir? It's a simple question. You don't need to go X, Y when I'm asking you 1, 2, and 3. Please tell me which part of the world was in war.
Just a small fact check for Radhika Kheda there. When the Prime Minister faced a security crisis, there was a Congress government in Punjab and not the Aam Aadmi Party. Just
their alliance partner, the Indi Bandhan partner.
But
they voted for Rahul Gandhi.
No, they were not partners. But at that time, there was a Congress government. I'm just correcting you on that fact. But Faizan Kidwai, that there is a difficult situation in the world is known to everybody. Everybody is following the war. It is, after all, रोज जो आप निकालते हैं ट्रम्प की स्टेटमेंट, ये डर गए. So you're watching that situation, and because of that, look at the prices of fuel. What has the Prime Minister said? Let's conserve foreign exchange. Has he told you कि एक रोटी कम खा लेना, don't eat 2 katoris of dal? He's not said all of that. He's only said, please reduce expenditure of objects or goods that are imported, and so that we can save our foreign exchange. Just a simple appeal. What's wrong with that?
Okay, Navika. Now, since I'm getting a time to speak after such a long time, everybody has spoken. I request you to kindly give me uninterrupted time. Let me make my points. You said, what is the problem? Navika, there's an individual called Mr. Narendra Modi. He's the Prime Minister of India. He promised the moon to the citizens of this country. But the reality is that today he has led India to the brink of disaster. And now, shamelessly, he's putting the onus on innocent citizens to clean the mess his incompetence has created. This is, Navika, not being a great leader.
I'm sorry, I'm completely forced to interrupt. Are you calling this war in West Asia the Prime Minister's incompetence?
I'm not saying this. I'm saying the situation, the economic slowdown India is facing. Navika, do you remember what the Prime Minister said? He promised that manufacturing will be 25% of the country's GDP. 100 million jobs will be created. There are reports which suggest that as of now, manufacturing is only 13% of our GDP. And today, instead of boosting production capacity, Honorable Prime Minister says, tell the citizens to cut consumption. This will further slow down the economy. The businesses will suffer. The foreign and domestic investment, which people are already pulling out, the situation will become even more worse. Let me bring this to your notice, Navika.
My friend, gold consumption cut is going to slow down the economy. I don't know which book of economics teaches that, but Abhijit, be my guest, please explain to him.
Two things I want to come back to. Jobs created totally as per the RBI is 17.9 crores. Not 100 billion, 17.9 crores. 19% growth in agriculture, 15% growth in manufacturing, 36% growth in services. Okay, so first your argument falls flat there. Second, let us understand one thing. I'm going back to Clyde. You know, everybody said, what is the point of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? Do you know we have reduced malaria by 80% in India because of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, even though we don't follow it up? 80% reduction in malaria, Navika. So just because cameras don't focus on it doesn't mean it doesn't have an impact. Next, we need to understand refineries today are running at 100% capacity, which is not good for you. You can't run it at maximum capacity, and it is all directed at fuel to keep fuel to avoid a fuel shortage. There are, like I said, there are 70,000 derivatives. We now need to start getting enough for fertilizers, for polyester, for things like that, which are all required. Plastics comes from crude oil. People don't realize this. So we need that diversification.
So Faizan Kidwai, where is the argument on slowdown coming from? Because the goods on which consumption has been advised to be cut are those goods which are imported, like gold. Gold is an unproductive asset.
No, Navika, no.
He wants us to go into a recession. He wants us to go into a recession.
Gentlemen, would you, Abhijit, let me respond now.
Economics.
Abhijit, let me respond now. Please, I request you to kindly let me respond now, and then you can counter later on. Thank you so much. Okay, Navika, see the problem when the Prime Minister tells the citizens that you have to cut on your foreign trips, on the gold purchases, that will be a minor drop in the ocean, Navika. The real reason there's the forex outflow is because India is constantly purchasing very expensive oil. We are in no position to manufacture oil ourselves. I'll just give you this data, Navika. In 2014, India from 2014 till 2026, our imports.
But that is why the Prime Minister is saying conserve fuel. You have nailed it. Faizan Kidwai, you have nailed it. You know, Suhail said, I really don't. I mean, what he is objecting to is why the Prime Minister has asked people to curtail. And he is saying this will lead to a slowdown. You know, economics today has formally died. Late economics as a subject. Suhail said, Faizan Kidwai, please, inko samjha.
Let me explain to Faizan in a very simple manner. I may not be as erudite as you are, but I'll try. Number one, our biggest import item is fuel. Fuel you can't do away with. You can't travel on gold. You have to travel on fuel. Right. Fuel also fuels a nation's logistical backbone. If that is your most expensive item, which has been caused because of the West Asia situation, you have to take steps in two ways. Either you conserve or you produce. We can't overnight produce more barrels of oil, so we have to conserve. Number two, gold is a non-essential commodity and is more emotion rather than rational. So if you can, don't nod. These are very disturbing things. When you speak, do I do all this kind of thing? No. I mean, this is a debate, not a circus. Now, as far as gold is concerned, gold is a non-essential item. Now, very few people can afford massive amounts of gold. Gold is used as a security hedge, as a saving hedge. All the Prime Minister said is, please reduce. Now, Faizan, I know where you're coming from. You're saying that if you make gold expensive, the export of gold that we do as finished gold products will suffer. But that'll be marginal in comparison to the amount of foreign exchange you will spend in buying that gold. So that is the argument. Yesterday on some television program, Tehseen is aware. Again, you're interrupting. Tehseen is aware.
You made your point.
One famous economist said, oh, why doesn't the RBI sell gold? RBI doesn't sell gold because, you know, an economist wants it sold. There are reasons why you keep reserves of gold.
Absolutely, and that is
my final point is there a crisis in the world? The answer is yes. Has Narendra Damodar Das Modi created the crisis? The answer is no. Does India need to conserve energy? The answer is yes. Does Faizan need to agree? The answer is yes. But will Faizan agree? The answer is no. Why? Because Faizan is in the opposition.
Now let
Absolutely. And logic is not something that works. Tehseen has been wanting to come in. Tehseen has been wanting to come in. Tehseen.
Navika, there are 3 points out here. One, your viewers have been misled on 2 things. Radhika is a brilliant BJP spokesperson. The customs on gold was 15%. It was reduced specifically because I quote Nirmala Sitharaman ji, there is robbery happening in gold. It leads to smuggling. Therefore, I'm saying I'm only quoting Nirmala Sitharaman. Number two, Abhijit is right. The strategic reserves have gone up since 2014, but that infrastructure was built by Manmohan Singh. Modi ji is not building infrastructure. Now let me come to the yes, he's not inaugurated. Abhijit, allow me. I'm coming after a long time. You do correct me. Let me come to the large point. Look, the large point right now is we are a part of this mess is because this particular government is a socialist government. Just this month, Navika.
Oh my God. The original socialist turned leftist government is now calling this a socialist government, and that is the problem. You know, I just give Abhijit. Now, what we need to do is find oil fields in the backyard of Tehseen Poonawalla as well as Faizan Kidwai, because short of that, ye manne wale nahi.
So, Navika, remember when they started ethanol blending to go dependency free, who was opposing it? It was the same people fear mongering, saying, oh, it is destroying your cars and this and that. They went on doubting the value of the 3-stage nuclear program, be it the domestic reactor, be it the fast breeder reactor which came online. When we made a push towards EVs, just so that, because, you know, EVs are dependent on electricity. If you get into the full nuclear cycle, we then become completely energy dependent. What is this government not done to become energy dependent?
Well, the fact of the matter is, the opposition will criticize if it is the need of the hour. It will criticize if it is not done by the government, if it is the need of the hour. Whichever way you look at it. Because opposition is a full-time job. We asked the question and did a poll. We asked, safe fuel drive. Team Modi leads by example. Opposition's mockery misplaced. 88% people believe yes it is. 9% people say no. Can't say 3%. 88% people believe don't make a mockery out of this. If the Prime Minister is saying this, there are countries who have implemented this, and there is a global oil shock that is currently going on. My friend, 440 volts of that shock hasn't been felt because the government's been cushioning it. Remove that cushion and you will feel the jhatka like never before. If advice is being given in the interest of the nation, should it be mocked or should it be followed? I leave that decision to the people who actually live and follow what's good and best for them. We leave it at that. Thank you very much to all my panelists joining me on debate number 1.